Hey guys, Gigahertz again. This is just another quick video about key binding. I'm using the current 1 through =, Blizzard keybinds. You'll notice that I put my offensive spells close to where my movement keys would be, and then I've got some sort of defensive and some sort of random little things here that are close, but not close enough to really make them super easy to grab. Something far away, grab my mana pudding. Blink and Frost Nova are close, but I have to click them with the mouse. They don't have a bind on them. I was going to put them here and there or something, but it tends to get very cluttered and kind of visual, so that's why things are set up in this way. These are the things that you would do right before you actually get into a fight. Here are your cooldowns you want to hit often, and here's the one that would happen every now and then. Mount over there. So it makes things easier for if you are a half keybinder, half mouse clicker. But the goal is going to be, in this next one, to start pushing more towards using the keybind for spells and abilities. So I'm going to show you a little gameplay footage, and then we're going to be back, and I'm going to show you a little tip to slowly get you out of your mouse for clicking and to start using your mouse more for moving. So that's about it, and enjoy the video, and I'll see you in a little bit. So here we are in the middle of the last boss fight in Scarlet Monastery. And you can see sometimes my mouse disappears when I'm not clicking on things. And that's because I am doing some mouse movement. This Scarlet Adjudicator comes in and accidentally gets hit by one of the Nether Tempest shots. And I'm trying to Frost Nova Blink my way out of there instead of mage tanking. And that's, of course, just an example of it's kind of tough to use your mouse to click on things that are sort of important. Frost Nova Blink as a mage, those are things that you want on an actual keybind. That way you don't have to use your mouse. And that's it. That's the fight. That's the way that stuff looks when you're sort of half moving with your mouse and half clicking and then using keybinds. And that's it, guys. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to add 9 keybinds that won't change where our current movement keybinds are. Because out of all the keybinds, those are the ones that really matter. The ones that we have, if you started from the beginning, are E, S, D, F, which is the standard movement shifted over to the right, and that's supposed to allow you the opening to have more keybinds. So at the beginning, this 7, 8, 9, and 0 are actually a little bit far away from our movement keybinds, and even though we can pick our hand up to go further over to the right or left, slide it back and forth, it does require looking back at the keyboard, which is kind of annoying depending. I mean, obviously if you're PvE it might not matter so much, but certainly with PvP or hardcore raiding, you're going to want things a little bit closer. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them closer, right around your actual keybind, sort of in a circle around them. Let's put number 7, which was Ice Block, we'll make that Q. And then your mana gem T, evocation can be V, and sheeping can be B. Now obviously because we've changed T, V, and B, things like open all bags and show enemy nameplates, that kind of thing is going to have to be changed. So in my case, I've actually changed show enemy nameplates to an apostrophe. B is instead of B, it's P to open all bags. Those are just things you'll have to figure out later. And maybe you won't even care because some people just open bags individually and they have an add-on that like a bag on or something like that, so it doesn't even matter. Said before that this was something that we would click with our mouse. That's horrible. You don't want to click Frost Nova and Blink with your mouse because those are things that you need to be doing while on the run, moving quickly. So we're going to go to our bottom right and fix that right now. Let's make Frost Nova and Blink be A and G. Therefore, if we get into trouble, we can just hit G, A, and Frost Nova Blink, goodbye. That's it. We don't need to worry about that. For the other 3 that we're going to add something that people use often in PvE and PvP, and that is your offensive cools. So, your right action bar, which is going to be this one on the far right, number 7 is going to be the one we want, mirror image, and we're going to use mouse button number 5, and then for the other one we're going to use mouse button number 4, and then above that we'll use the tilde. Okay, so that way, while I'm using my offensive abilities 5 through 1, I can just move my pinky over a little bit to the tilde and grab my trinket, which I hit every minute, and it's just accessible boom right there. And then of course for hitting arcane power and mirror image, it's just my two buttons that are on my mouse on the side buttons, the extra buttons, which is really good. And that's really going to help us because now we have access to those without having to reach over and get them. Notice I didn't put time warp on a keybind yet. That's because at this point I'm sure a lot of us would be worried about hitting it at the wrong time. So for the next step, we're going to be moving completely and totally away from using your mouse to touch an actual spell or ability, with the exception of a very, very, very few things. And we're even going to be letting go of using the keyboard for a lot of movement keybinds. Now, it obviously isn't be class specific, but you'll see more about that in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and peace.